Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Single Parents Podcast, the show that is far from traditional. If you end up enjoying what you see and liking what you hear, consider subscribing to the podcast, sharing the podcast with a friend, and rating the podcast 5 stars on your favorite podcast hosting platforms. That way we can tell those algorithms out there that the show is legit, and it will pass it along to more people. All right, well, here's a little taste as to what you can expect on today's show. So, Jessica, let me ask you a question real quick. Am I the asshole for everything I just said about the female body?
Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. Just
Welcome. Hey,
It's
guys.
the Single Parents Podcast, and we're back at it for another episode. And I just have to start by saying this is something that I really want to talk about very deeply.
Yes.
First of all, I should ask how you're doing. What's tea?
I am good, but I want to so long story short, I'm good. I'm fine. I just have a follow-up I wanted to do that I keep forgetting to do with you. And so I want to do it. So you can talk about what you want to talk about, but I have a burning question, and I'm sure the diehards of our show have also been thinking this, because if you guys watched, I believe it was your special bonus birthday episode. Very beginning of the episode, we talked about you potentially having a gym bestie or a little gym crush, whatever.
Yes.
So I just needed to follow up on that. So I'm good, I'm fine, but you talk. I need to follow up on did you ever get back with that girl?
Actually, no, now that I think about it.
Okay.
No, I haven't really seen her again. I see like some of the same girls. But honestly, I haven't seen that one specifically, but it's not like I'm going every single day. It kind of fluctuates the days that I'm able to go. So maybe I've just been passing by her, but I don't know. There are definitely a few other girls that I'm like, I feel like I should be friends with them, but I don't know, because I like their vibes and, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get like a gym bestie one day.
Sure.
But for now, we don't have a gym bestie.
Dang.
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm hitting the gym alone. That's what I'm doing. It's fine. It's whatever. We're just working on our fitness. It's just,
trying to get
it's
ripped
just
and peak
well, not
physical
even
condition.
yeah, maybe. I was like in top tier physique before I got pregnant, and then getting pregnant basically just destroyed my body. And so, yeah, so I'm just trying to be like a MILF. You know what I mean? Like that's just the vibe. Especially when you fall, like you like get off track a little bit and you're like, all right,
man. I feel like you're so
need to
hard
zip
on
it back
yourself.
up.
You're so hard on yourself. You're not like you're way too like you're still a MILF. You're a MILF right now. Everybody knows it. Everybody who's watching the video version of this podcast is like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. But so maybe you just want to like, I don't know, work your way up the MILF ladder. Like, do you just want to be like a MILF to where
top tier
somebody sees you and they literally like fall on their knees in the parking lot because they just can't believe somebody as stunning as you actually exists? Okay, that's
right,
fair.
exactly. I feel like that's fair. I feel like it's exactly what I deserve, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
good.
oh,
Yeah.
you know
I
what
like
I'm
it.
also thinking of? Selling Sunsets. Some of the girls on there are moms, and they have like a bajillion dollars on that show. So if you've never seen Selling Sunsets, which you haven't,
I have never. So yeah, fill me in on this show because everybody knows I'm a big reality show whore. But
yes,
not this
you
one.
are.
Not this one.
Ho ho ho.
Wait, this is a reality show, right? It's not scripted, right?
No, it's a reality TV show.
That's what I thought.
And so it's basically like, and they have like a bunch of different variations. They have like Selling OCs, like Selling the City, something like that. They have a bunch of different variations, and I watch them all because I think they're so good. They cast great people for the drama. And I will say this is probably like one of the reality TV shows that I do like to watch. And those girls on there just have bajillions of dollars. They sell these homes to people in California. These homes are like anywhere ranging from like $3 million to $70 million. And it's like, wow, it must be nice to have that much money. But
Seriously.
think about the fat ass commission checks these girls are getting. They make, I would say, minimum is like 100 grand a house. That's minimum. But it's
Wow.
usually like 300, 400,
Okay.
500, sometimes even up to $1 million if they sell a home. And with the group that they're in, I'm sure like a percentage goes to the people who
Hmm.
run the group or whatever, but
Yeah.
still, those are still fat checks. So these moms, they get these fantastic mommy makeovers with like the tummy tucks, the fake tits.
Mm.
They get a bunch of stuff in their faces. I
Hmm.
will say there are some that look very plastic and I don't think they look good,
Sure.
but v some of them I'm like, "Okay, that is just, like, top tier MILF." Like, that is a
Okay.
mommy right there, and, plastic surgery can make you look better, but it can also make you look a lot worse, but anyway, yeah, those
Would you, if
moms
you had
are
that
top
money?
tier.
Well, not if, when. So we all
When?
know you're going to be a very wealthy, famous podcaster in the very near future. So when you got those fat advertising checks from the podcast, are you a big plastic surgery person for yourself? Like, would you
Um,
get anything done
I mean,
that
I've
you're willing to
never
share?
had.
That you're
No,
willing
I
to
I mean,
share?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. I haven't had any plastic surgery. What's fake on me is my hair, which I'm very open about on TikTok because I have like 4 strands of hair. And I feel like it's fine. Like that's something I do to make myself feel more confident and enhance it and whatever. And honestly, the girl that I go to is just she's literally 10 out of 10. When I was looking
Nice.
for somebody to do my extensions, I chat GPT'd it and I
Okay.
went to my consultation and I was like, "Hey, like I found you on ChatGPT." And she was like, "No way, that's crazy." And I love her. I think she's great and she does like an amazing job on my hair. I get so many compliments on it. Anyway, so we do the hair right now. I really like don't think I'm like looking at myself in the camera and like there's just nothing that unless I wanted to do what is it like chin lipo, that might be something I would be interested in. Um Maybe, like, some lipo around, like, the tummy area, and maybe a pair of fake tits, like, I wouldn't mind that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them to be, like, a little bit bigger, but I don't know, and also, like, some guys aren't into that. Like, give me your opinions. There are some guys that are like,
Yeah.
"I don't like fake tits," but what if they just looked so good and
Hmm.
real and natural and they felt like they were mostly natural? Like, from a guy's perspective, what's your opinion on all of
Yeah,
that
I'm
stuff?
on the side of the fence where I can appreciate it when it's good, like you said, if it's like done well and there's because I mean, well, I won't say any names because we keep it respectful. But there's been girls I've checked out before and I've been talking to and complimenting, and they'll tell me like, "Oh yeah, I've had work done on my boobs and blah blah blah," and I'll be like, "Oh." Dang, I did not know that. I thought those were all natural and they look really good. And she's like,
That's
"Oh,
good.
thanks, blah blah blah." But I definitely think there is, in my opinion, a line though that
Mhm.
many people cross sometimes. Again, I'm speaking from the fact that I because I'm such a big reality show whore, I see a lot of these Instagram influencer girls who go on these like Love Islands and all those type of shows, Too Hot to Handle, and you can tell they have had a lot of work done. And to me,
Yes.
I'm just like, "Ooh," I mean, I know you guys are trying to present this person as like this hottest person in the world, but to me, I don't know. It's a little too much lip filler, a little too much
Mhm.
work in the face. The boobs, they don't look natural. They just look like two boulders sitting there.
Yeah, see, I that
So
sucks.
I don't want to body shame. Like it's their body. They can do what they
Mhm.
do to feel confident and beautiful. Like that's great. But for me, my preference, if I had to go to the extreme of do I want all that or just a natural girl who just, looks good, goes to the gym, but it's all natural and maybe the boobs sag a little bit, maybe she has the cellulite, like whatever, that's fine. I don't I don't really care. I'm not going to so I'll be on that side of the fence if I had to pick the extreme. But yeah, no, I think whatever the girl has to do to feel like that confidence, I think that's great. I'll support that, but I was never a big type of guy who like needed my girl to show up with two big melons. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm all
I
right.
don't know, there's definitely I don't know, I just you see so much stuff on social media,
Yeah.
and because they're just loaded with money,
Hmm.
they spend a lot of money on themselves, like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the lip filler,
Lip filler. Yeah.
some people with the lip filler is just it's insane. It
I think
looks
that's my
bad.
one to where if I see some bad lip filler that I'm just like, why? Like again, I've seen girls like just this last season of Love Island. There was a girl. She's very beautiful. Even on the show, she was stunning, and her lip filler was good. She had it, you could tell, but it was all right. It wasn't too crazy. But I guess after the show, she let it dissolve or got it dissolved, whatever you
Mhm.
do, and her lips just went back to natural thinner. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like she like looks amazing." And I couldn't place
So
my
much
finger
better.
on it. I was like, "Why does she look so much better than she did on the show?" Like it's weird. And then somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, she must have dissolved her lip filler because she looks really good."
Oh,
And I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay." So like I just feel like that's just slippery slope right there. Yeah, I don't know. You get me just a natural girl in like a sundress.
Oh,
Oh,
the
I'm a big
sundresses, the guys love them.
sundress. I love a sundress. I love a good nipple piercing. Mm.
Yes, okay!
Oh my gosh. Give me a girl in a sundress, dark hair, tattoos, nipples pierced. I talk about fall to your knees and on the parking lot. Like,
Oh my god. Wait,
mm,
that's so funny. Have you ever
mm.
seen those memes that are like, girls with nipple piercings? It's like, "Oh, it tastes like home," or something like that because it tastes like keys.
No, but I love that. That's my
Wait, you've
life.
never
And
seen
I've
that
never
before?
seen that, but I love that.
Yeah, it's like, it tastes like home because it tastes like
Oh
like
my
your home
gosh.
keys, the keys to your house.
Wow. Nope, never heard that. That's funny though.
Oh my god, I can't believe you've never heard that. That's so funny. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
But some people might be thinking I sound like kind of an asshole talking about women's bodies like this. So, Jessica, let me ask you a question real quick. Am I the asshole for everything I just said about the female body?
Um, no, I don't think so. I feel like you're a guy, you interact with females, you're gonna end up with a female, and yeah, hey, you like what you like, and so I don't think you're the asshole for it.
All right, yeah. So I'm not the asshole. Okay, all right. So but I'm kind of in the mood, Jessica, to keep
Okay.
talking more about whether or not people are assholes. So as we've done a couple times on the show before, but this is our first time doing it with you, we're gonna do our SPP. Am I the asshole edition?
Mhm.
If you don't know what this is if there's I mean it's big on Reddit. Reddit's like this forum thread web community app whatever it is where people just
Platform, I don't know.
platform people talk about lots of different stuff on Reddit, but there's a popular thread slash series on Reddit where people will just submit different scenarios and just ask the readers, hey, here's what happened. Am I the asshole for whatever went down, or am I not because the other person lost their mind or did something, or maybe it's just it's very gray, so things can go both ways, and sometimes be like, nope, you were 100% the asshole in that situation. Sometimes people were like, well, I could see how it could have been handled differently. So it's always fun to kind of read through those. So what Jessica and I did is we went and found a couple of posts that we're just going to share with each other. She has some I haven't heard, I have a couple she hasn't heard, so we're going to take turns reading, and then we're going to let the other person respond and do a little reaction. And then you, the listener or viewer at home, make sure to let us know your thoughts on each one of these. All right. You ready to get down on this thing?
I'll start.
All
Okay,
right.
so this one's, like, not as long, but I'm very curious about what your take on it is because it's labeled if it's asshole or not. You know how they, like, label it on Reddit, if, like, yes, you're the asshole or, like, everybody sucks or
Yep.
what's the other one?
It's
Not the asshole
not
or
the
something?
asshole. Ask, am the asshole or the asshole. And then I think there's ones like everybody in this situation is just trash.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I was reading some that where it said, like, everyone sucks, whatever.
Right, right.
So I read through this without looking at the label first, and I had a certain opinion on it, and then I read the label and I was like, "Huh, maybe I need to think about it in a different way." So I'm curious, like, you first of all, just like your initial thoughts, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Um, so it's titled, Am I the asshole for telling my brother's wife that being a stay at home mom doesn't mean being a stay in bed mom?
Okay, this is good. This is good. I'm curious.
My brother, M27, and his wife, F25, have a 5-month-old baby. He works for long hours while she stays in home to take care of their baby, and I live about 10 minutes away from them and drop by sometimes to help. But lately, every time I go there, she's in bed scrolling on her phone or saying she needs a break. The house is a mess, bottles everywhere, laundry's not done, dishes in the sink, and baby's crying most of the time. Last weekend, my brother called me saying he was losing it.
Mm.
When I got there, he was trying to cook with one hand and holding the baby with the other. His wife was literally in bed watching Netflix. I ended up feeding the baby, cleaning up a bit, and helping him calm things down while she stays in bed the whole time. After that, I went to her and asked if she was okay. And she replied, Yeah, a bit exhausted. I can understand that being a new mom is rough for people, but my brother works 40 to 50 hours a week
Okay.
and still helps with the baby. So I lost my cool and said, Being in home doesn't mean that you always have to be in the bed scrolling and watching TV shows. She started to cry and complained to my brother. Now he is mad at me for hurting her. I literally don't have anything against her. I just felt bad for him doing everything by himself, and he's still mad at me for that. Am I the asshole to say these things to her just because I wanted to help my brother?
And okay, so what did you say the audience or the readers voted him as?
Well, I want to know, like, your opinion first, if it's
Okay, all
like
right.
asshole
Because
or not, or
I
everyone
think, because
sucks.
this, no, I don't think everyone sucks. And it's not that one. I think I wouldn't say this guy's an asshole. I ask because that's not the word I would use. I think he
I think it's
did.
well, actually, I don't know. It says my brother.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the writer.
Oh, I was
The
thinking the writer was a sister.
Oh. Oh, I saw it as a brother. I don't know why. Maybe
I
it could
guess
have
it
been a
doesn't
sister.
matter. It
I guess
doesn't
it doesn't
specify.
matter. Yeah, I guess it really
It
doesn't matter.
doesn't.
So I'll just say the person who wrote this, whether it's a brother or a sister or whatever, doesn't matter. I don't think they're the asshole. I do think they just overstepped. And I say that because the brother to me is like the key piece in this. I understand that he works all those hours, comes home and has to deal with that situation. But at the end of the day, that's his home. That's his wife. He should be the one having conversations with her. And if maybe he said what he said to the writer because he was just venting. He needs to let that out. But like he doesn't say anything about whether or not he talked to his wife about that. And I think at the end of the day, it's that guy's house. If he's having issues, if he needs to talk to his wife about something, then he needs to man up and have that conversation with his wife. I think maybe it'd be different if it had said that the brother tried talking to his wife several times. She's just not doing it and you don't get it. Then I can understand the frustration. But for her, what I'm assuming sounds like the first time she's hearing this coming from the brother or the sister of her husband. I understand why the brother would get upset at the person for saying anything in the first place. So but I understand why it was said. I understand you want to stick up for your siblings. I understand that situation not being ideal and that being frustrating, but I think that you gotta at least leave the initial conversations about that between the husband and the wife. That's my thoughts.
Okay, so I'm going to share my thoughts,
Okay.
my very initial thoughts. And then I like thought about other things, but my initial
Interesting.
thought was like, shit, I was 3 days postpartum and
Mhm.
vacuuming the whole house. Like, I was ready to
Right.
go, and I
Yeah.
literally, like, TMI, but, like, my hoo-ha was all stitched up. Like, I was swollen, I had stitches in me, and I was still
Yeah.
just like, "Alright, let me vacuum, I'm gonna mop the floors, like, I'm gonna keep the house clean," because 'cause I'm at home with the baby. It was summer break after teaching, and
Right.
I hadn't started my new job yet because I was still getting paid through the summer with my teaching. So I was like, all right, I'm taking this time off. I'm spending, the first 2 months, 3 months, whatever, with my baby at home. And the house was ship shape. Like, I was doing the laundry, I was doing dishes. Um, Now, not so easy because I'm working full time, but
Right.
it really is, to be a stay at home mom is such a luxury.
Hmm.
And if your only job is to, like, take care of the kids, like, I feel like you also have the opportunity to cook dinner, clean the floors, do the laundry. If I was able to do that every day, holy freak,
Yeah.
would my house look amazing. But my house looks like shit right now because I work full time and then I'm coming home and I'm being a single mom and
Yeah.
I'm cooking dinner and I'm doing the laundry and I'm taking care of the dogs. But, like, if work that is so many hours to, like, get stuff done, and, like, sure, you can still get stuff done and take a nap while your kid takes a nap if you really need to, but,
Hmm.
I'm, like, a big go-getter, I active, I wanna get stuff done, all of that stuff, um, so then when I started reading the comments and stuff, this is actually labeled as the person writing in being an asshole,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
and I was like, "My god." Am I the
Yeah.
asshole too? I must be the asshole too because I just thought all of that. Then I read through the comments,
Yeah.
and the comments, like, for the thread was like, she's going through postpartum depression, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, depression, if you know that you're having issues, you
Hmm.
really need to get the help fast.
Okay.
That's something you should be discussing with your spouse. You need to get the help fast, but everything around you can't stop. Like, you can't just
Mhm.
not do things because like, you have to figure out a way to push through and do it, especially because you're supposed to be a team. If your husband is working so many hours and he's coming home and still doing everything, like, you got to figure out, like, sure, it can happen every once in a while because I know that some days it'll be 70% him, 20% you. Some days it's going to be 50-50. Some days it's
Yeah.
going to be 80-20. Like, like, it can flip flop at all times. But if it's been going on for weeks, and however, the baby's 5 months old, if
Right.
you're still feeling like you're in this postpartum depression and you're not getting the help that you need to be able to make you thrive as a parent and in your relationship, um, you probably should figure it out. But also, I think this wife probably isn't being proactive. Who knows if she had a conversation with her husband already?
Right.
Um, so I think for me, this person probably shouldn't have said anything. Maybe mention
Hmm.
something to the brother first. You
Yeah.
don't just, like, snap at her and say whatever. But um yeah, it's like overstepping a boundary, but I get their feelings. I also just feel like you're not living the life, so I don't care.
Yeah.
It's your relationship, I'm
Yep.
not getting in the middle of it. I have
Right.
friends where I'm like, "Okay, I don't really like the person that they're dating, or I don't really like the person that they're married to, but shit, I'm not the one sleeping next to them at night, so I don't
Exactly.
give a fuck." Like,
Yeah.
if you wanna live your life like that, fine,
Hmm.
but I don't have to be the superhero to save it. Also, if this person is going over to help sometimes, like, you shouldn't feel like you don't need to take on this huge role to, like, help them unless they're asking you.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
can understand helping every once in a while, but, like, feeling like you have to go every other day to, like, clean the house, like, not my monkey, not my circus, you know?
Hmm.
That's just that's just how I feel. But I was like, "Shit, I guess I'm the asshole too," and then I had to backtrack and think about all the other aspects, so now
Yeah.
I'm kind of in this middle ground.
Yeah, like I said, it's this one's I like I said, I agree with what everybody else commented. Like if I had to vote asshole, not the asshole, I would say asshole because I think you got to let the brother have that conversation. Maybe the brother was just venting. Like you said, it's not your
Right,
wife, not your marriage, not your house. So you just got to be like, you know what? If he has such an issue with it, then
right.
he'll be the one ultimately to stand up and say something. So I think asshole's a strong word because I get like wanting to defend your sibling, but yeah, I think in that case you just gotta Gotta relax a little bit. Okay. All right. That was a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
I'm ready for yours.
All right, here we go. Next one. So I don't have. So I don't have. I forgot. Like screenshot mine, and I didn't put the title of it in here for some reason, and I didn't screenshot the results. So we're just gonna go off our own opinions on
It's
mine.
fine.
So here we go. So I, female 20, X, male 21, and I were living together for 2 years. The breakup was kind of sudden. He just texted me out of nowhere one night with one of those "thank you for everything, I wish you the best" type
Oh, God.
messages. No explanation, no real closure, nothing. I was honestly shocked, mostly because I think she meant to say mostly because he chose to end it like that over text. So I answered him So I answered him a few minutes later. I saw him posting those "trust God's timings" or "everything happens for a reason" kind of quotes on his story.
Okay. I'm laughing so
I
hard.
know,
What the
I'm already
heck?
laughing. And since he had already left me on red and broke up with me that way, I found it super disrespectful and fake. So I unfollowed him right away. For me, that's how I deal with people who are no longer a part of my life: exes, old friends, anyone. If things get messy, I block. And he knew that about me. But when he noticed I unfollowed him, he completely lost it. He suddenly replied to the breakup message he ignored, started a whole argument, and even got mad about random stuff like my belongings. He made it a huge deal as if I had personally attacked him. Now, even 2 months later, our mutual friends keep telling me that he's still mad about the unfollow. Like that's what hurt him the most. Apparently, he keeps saying it was disrespectful, and he's still angry about it, even though he's the one who broke up with me. So I'm wondering, is that normal? Do you guys really take something like that so personally? Or even for girls, would you be upset if your ex unfollowed you right after a breakup? I genuinely don't know if I crossed the line or if he's just acting up out of ego. And I remember the title of this one now. This was "Am I the Asshole for Unfollowing My Ex on Instagram?" What are your thoughts?
Okay. My thoughts is like, who is this guy? And why is he such a baby back bitch?
Yes, yes.
No, he's actually a baby back bitch because that's what I would do if I break up with someone. You are removed from my life so I could heal. I want to what do they say, like out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. And the reason he was probably posting all that shit was just so she could see it.
Mm,
That's exactly what was happening. He was posting all that shit just so she could see it. And so that's why he's all butthurt about it because now she can't, like he sounds like he's probably some sort of manipulative guy that probably wanted her to feel bad for him, to be like, "What's going on? Let's talk about it. I can make it better for you." Like all this shit. But like if you're a grown man, just grow the fuck up and like deal with your shit. You don't need to be posting sad shit like on the internet. I don't know. That's just no, she's not the asshole at all. This guy's a baby
yeah, I
back
don't think
bitch.
anybody. I remember the thread now. Nobody. Not. I don't think one person said she was the asshole. I think everybody agrees. But I wanted to hear your opinion on this one because I remember we've talked about something similar like this before when it comes to social media, and I remember that you had said that you're the type of person to block quick and move on. So I
Mhm.
just so you would be the same thing. So let's say same situation, guy says, "Hey, thanks but no thanks," breaks up with you. You would immediately go Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and unfollow, block.
Yeah, I think I think it really depends
Okay.
if we like get into a fight and like we're in this toxic relationship where we're like breaking up constantly, maybe I wouldn't do it then because I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna block him because I'm just gonna have to follow him again 2 days later.
Okay.
Um, but if it's something that I truly feel is like ending it and there's no hope and I don't want to be with this person anymore and there's, whatever, then yeah, I would just do it right away. So I could start my healing era and I delete all the pictures off my phone. I do everything. Like I delete all the pictures on social media. I delete everything off my phone. I'll delete our text message thread. I'll block your phone number. Like, and you are removed 100%, and I am moving on. And
Nice.
that's just kind of how I do it. Out of sight, out of mind.
See, I'm the opposite because of my massive ego.
Oh my god.
So I'm the opposite because I want, and maybe I'm a little manipulative like this guy, but in a different way. But like, I want to stay friends with the people who do me dirty like that because I want them to see my thirst traps. I want them to see my stories
Yes.
where I'm doing fun stuff with hot people and I'm living my best life because
Right.
I want them to see like, oh crap, like I screwed up by not wanting to be with Anthony. Like, look at him. Like, literally, honestly, this kind of just happened like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my
Like,
god, wait, tell me the tea. You were seeing
so
someone?
no, I was so that's when it gets kind of tricky. Like I wasn't seeing somebody, but like maybe we were just talking and maybe we are just like hanging
Hooking
out
up?
when we would hang out when we'd flirt and we did that a couple of times. But she made it very very clear, like, hey, like to her defense, she did make it clear, like, hey, like I don't want to be exclusive. Like I'm just out here kind of doing my thing, and I was like, cool, that's fine. So she did make that clear, but it just seemed like every time like we tried to hang out, there'd be this other guy who would kind of scooch in, and it always, if there was a choice, him over me. Even though she didn't want to be
Ew.
exclusive, like him over
Ew.
me, him over me, him over me. And so I was like, okay. And so a little while ago, there was this party that all my friends were at, and I like the party was at a person's house who like I know the person. We're not like friends. I know them, but I'm close to like our mutual friends who were at the party. I was closer to them, so like it wasn't like weird that I wasn't invited to the party because the host, I'm not like close with them like that.
Mhm.
But if I was like brought by like a mutual person, it wouldn't be weird that I showed up because like it's just those type of vibes. Um, so, but I didn't get the invite to the party, so I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, again, I'm not close to the host, so I'm not gonna think about it. But then the next day, I see on Facebook that that person, the girl I was talking about, same guy who she seems to
In a
like always
relationship.
make time with. No, she brought him to the party, and it was a Halloween party, and this is pissing me off the most. It was a Halloween party, and he didn't even dress up.
Oh my god, he's so lame.
And
We
God
hate
knows
him.
I would have went to the party. I would have been awesome. I would have been the vibes. I would have dressed up. So like I sent her, I didn't like, I don't know. All I said was like, oh, haha. Of course she took whatever his name is to the party. And I didn't really reply to that because I realized like, it's whatever. I'm not going to make it a big deal, but that's the type of thing. Then what I'll do is I'll just keep that person around, and I know they'll see my stories, and I'll know they'll see my hot pictures, and then they'll be like, ah, dang it. I should have picked Anthony. I should have learned. And guess what? You're going to rue the day you didn't pick Anthony, and I'm going to make sure of it. So, anyways, maybe I'm the asshole for having that mentality, but that's how I
No.
do it.
No, I don't think so. I think you just need to know your worth, honestly.
Oh,
I could
okay.
give you a whole pep talk right now because she didn't see your worth to begin with, so you don't need to prove it to her.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah,
Dang,
no, seriously
that's
though.
good. That made me feel good. That made me feel good. That was nice.
She
That's
didn't
good.
see it in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's why would you waste all the effort when there could be somebody who actually appreciates you from the beginning? You don't need to do these things
Hmm.
to make somebody jealous. They're a loser
Wow.
anyway.
Wow.
Stop. You don't,
That was
it's
good.
because I
That
care.
was
The tough
good.
love.
I need the tough love. I know. I need to find the person who's gonna invite me to the party from the beginning. That's what I
Yeah,
need.
right? Like she's not even worth it. She's obviously a
Mm,
fucking loser.
I like it.
And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. She's going to try and pursue this guy or they're going to continue going on. Things are not going to work out
Yeah.
and then she'll be sad about it and there could be a day where she sends you a message again and you just
Hmm.
fucking leave that hoe on red.
Just leave it alone. We talked on the show
Yeah.
about spinning the block, how we don't spin the block. I'm big on that though. Like I'll let people like look and be like, oh dang, I what could have been, but once you make that choice to step, it take very 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 special circumstance for me to be like, okay, fine, I'm fine with being the second choice, the backup option after the guy that you picked over me turned out to
Yeah,
be a
and you should
douchebag.
never.
Nah.
You should never. That's like a lesson that they have to learn themselves, honestly. So, I don't know, that's just how I feel, but speaking of, like,
Okay, here we go.
someone you're seeing or somebody you're with being
Okay.
involved with somebody else, this actually connects really well, and I'm so curious about how you feel about this. This is,
Okay.
like, a topic that I usually discuss between, like, me and the gals or, like, the gay besties, like,
Sure,
I
sure.
never really talk about this topic with another straight male, and
Okay.
I wouldn't have this conversation with somebody that I'm dating or seeing
Hmm.
because I'm not sure if they would be 100% honest
Ooh,
because I've heard
interesting.
the same things all the time, you know?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I really, really, really wanna know what your take on this is. This actually it says, like, it's originally posted from the Am I the Asshole, but it was deleted
Hmm.
to some incorrect subreddit. I don't even know what the heck that means, but so
Okay.
this one, I have the title and everything, it just doesn't say what it's labeled as. This one is a little bit lengthy, okay?
Okay. Okay. Cool. I'll get comfortable. I'm comfortable. I'm sat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that lengthy, but, it's longer than the first one,
Okay.
and I can't wait because I wrote down some follow-up questions after your initial thoughts. I'm gonna ask you more that connect to this.
Cool.
Um, okay, anyway,
All right. Let's do it.
am I the asshole for asking my husband to stop being physically affectionate with another woman?
Okay.
My husband, male 30s, has a close female friend, female 30s. For over a year, I've felt uncomfortable with how physically close they are. Nothing sexual, but things like leaning on each other, touching arms, licking palms, and wiping it on the other person, rubbing shoulders, etc. About a year ago, my husband slapped female's butt in front of me. Female apologized, and I tried to move on. They did stop the licking, and he hasn't slapped her butt again, but the physical closeness never fully stopped. I told my husband multiple times that this made me uncomfortable and asked that they keep physical contact to basic normal greetings. He said he understood. Recently, at another get together, they were touching again right in front of me. Things like hand touching, booping noses, and him helping her stretch. I felt disrespected because I had communicated this boundary before. I've repeated the boundary and told my husband I didn't feel comfortable attending events with female if this continued. I asked him to speak to her again, or I would if needed. He got defensive. He brought up mistakes I had made with old friends years ago, which I've taken responsibility for and changed. He kept calling me hypocritical, and the argument escalated. I genuinely started thinking I was wrong. So I asked to see how he spoke to females so I could apologize properly. He showed me the messages. In them, female agreed I was deeply insecure. And my husband minimized my feelings and downplayed the whole situation. Neither defended me or acknowledged why I might be upset. He also made a few comments about my friends and family that hurt. I felt awful and ended up apologizing to female for my insecurity and taking things out on her, even though I'm now questioning whether that was fair to myself. Female responded politely, but didn't apologize for anything she did or said. I'm exhausted. I spent a year in therapy working on myself, improving boundaries, and trying to be open. But I keep getting told I'm the problem while my husband and female dismiss or minimize my feelings. So, am I the asshole for asking them to stop being physically affectionate and then apologizing after seeing their messages? I genuinely can't tell if my boundary is reasonable or if I'm being dramatic. If I am the asshole, please roast me. What do we think?
Okay, so that's the tricky thing with these Am I the Asshole stories is you just gotta like take it at face value, take it at the word of the person writing,
Right.
because oftentimes, whether people know they're doing it or not, they'll phrase things and say things and leave certain things out and highlight certain things to maybe let themselves look better or to persuade the story a certain way. So you just got to say, like, you know what, maybe in this case she left something out, missing something,
Right.
but we don't know. We just got to take it for what she said. So, but taking it from what she said, no, what the, her husband is the asshole in this. This is like easy to me, because to me, it's not even about the touching. Like, that might be something she's insecure about, and that might be the surface level thing. But the reason why he's real asshole is because she communicated something to him that makes her uncomfortable. And I don't care if it's touching another woman in that way. I don't care if it's, hey, it makes me uncomfortable that you use certain language. I don't care if it's it makes me uncomfortable how much you're drinking when you get home. If your partner, I haven't been married, I haven't been in a relationship in a little while, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe things changed, but in my opinion, if your partner comes to you and it's like, hey, this makes me uncomfortable, especially, as a man, if your wife comes and tells you that, then it's your job to say, okay, cool. Maybe there's things we need to talk about. Maybe there's some compromises we can make. But in this case, no. But like, say if it's like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with how much you're drinking after work. So, okay, let's compromise. Like, maybe instead of me chugging hard liquor after work, I come home and I have one or two beers, and that's enough because I hear you. I want to respect you. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, in my opinion. So in this case, it should have been like, oh shoot, first time. Oh shoot, that makes you uncomfortable. I'm sorry. That's just how we are. But it doesn't really matter, because if that makes you uncomfortable, you're my wife. So done. You don't have to worry about it again. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not how relationships are anymore, but I don't understand. And then you're adding on top of that the minimizing, the obvious gaslighting that he did to her, the twisting of like, well, 3 years ago you did this with Bob, and so you can't sit here and tell me, like that's just obvious toxic behavior right there. And the being made to feel like you're the one who has to apologize when you communicated a issue with your husband and he just chooses to ignore it, but you're the problem. No, couldn't do it. So all that to say, unless I'm missing something, she's not the asshole. It's him. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I can't believe that. I mean, who knows if they're in an open relationship of some
Yeah,
sort, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, with these, you just got to take it at face value, because maybe there is something we don't know. Maybe they are in an open relationship, and so
yeah,
he's doing these things because, hey, I thought we agreed. This is what we. So, yeah, but at face value, just taking with what I've heard, what you
right.
read, that's no, no.
Yeah. No, it's a big no-no. I couldn't imagine, like, does a guy actually think it's okay to have your wife or your girlfriend around and being like that with another female? You're not that just should not happen. Like, your wife or your girlfriend becomes maybe not number 1 priority, but like a huge priority. Your wife and your girlfriend is just like the most important women to you now. Like,
Yeah,
that's, in my opinion, how it should be. And I'm actually disgusted that a guy would think that this is okay to do in front of his wife. His wife! And have, like, is he cheating on his wife? Is he sleeping with this girl?
mm-hmm.
Does she have a crush on him? Because then he should really be setting these firm boundaries. But it sounds like they have text message communication constantly and talking about how, could you imagine, like, one of your girlfriends talking about your wife or your girlfriend and saying, like, she's deeply insecure and you not defend her? What the
Yeah, like
fuck?
that's a huge red flag. Like, somebody talking ill of my girl, that would, number one, it set me off the edge, because I
Yeah,
get super
it
defensive
should.
of like the people I love. So like, number one, I would be like, how dare you? But number two, for him just to kind of allow that and not even like push back on that at all just shows just how little he actually cares or values her and
Exactly.
her feelings. And like, this guy's not a protector. And that's a good point, is that if he's so comfortable slapping another girl's butt, doing
That's
the whole
weird.
Eskimo kisses in front of his wife, like, who knows what goes on when nobody's around. Like,
That is so
they're
weird.
obviously very comfortable with each other to do, like, even just like think about this, like, for you, for a girl, and maybe again, maybe you can correct me, but for somebody to slap your butt, and like, especially a guy, for you to let him do that and laugh it off and be cool, there has to be a level of comfort there that's so high
Right.
that doesn't automatically result in you turning around and cussing that guy out or slapping him in the face. Like, you
Right.
don't
Exactly.
let any Joe Schmo, any coworker Bob Joe from the office come and slap your butt
Exactly.
and get away with it. Like, you got to have high level of like comfort with this person. So for them to be so comfortable with each other there where like she doesn't even think twice about him doing that, ultimate disrespect. So no, this guy's trash. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
He is trash.
No, he is. It's true. So I'm curious, what is your take? Because this was like one of my follow-up questions. I actually have another
Yes.
one
Okay.
too that
Sure.
could stem from it.
Okay.
So my follow-up question, that I really only talk about this with like my gay besties or like the
Yeah.
gals. Your opinion, if you're in a relationship with someone, um, I guess like I can only really talk about from a girl's sense, whatever. Um, if I were to be dating someone and he has a girl best friend that he talks with and hangs out with constantly, is that something I should be okay with? Like, if they're just like going out to eat together one on one, going to the gym together one on one, they go shopping together one on one, giving her rides, like, is that something I should be okay with? Or, like, how do you feel about, like,
Hmm.
from a guy's perspective?
Hmm.
Like, if you were seeing somebody and then you had another girl that's like your girl best
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
I think there's two parts to that answer. I think number one is if my girl, if I said I had a girl best friend and my
Mhm.
girl came and it's just like, hey, like, I trust you. I understand that you and Betty have been friends since kindergarten. I understand all that. And so maybe it is just me being insecure, and I'm aware of that, and I'm sorry, and I'll work on that. But I just got to be honest, babe. Like, you guys being so close, texting all the time, going out to dinner, that does make me uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I'm not accusing you of doing anything. I'm just telling you, like, it makes me uncomfortable. If my girls came to me and said that, then again, I haven't been in a relationship for a while, so maybe things have changed, but that would be the end of it. Because, like you said earlier, especially if we're married, my wife comes before everybody.
Yeah.
So if my wife is feeling a certain way, then it's my job to protect her feelings and to engage her feelings. And maybe, like I said, there could be compromises. Like, maybe
Right.
the two of us don't go hang out, all three of us go out to the movies and we just keep it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But my main job would be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not gonna sit and make this a big deal, because at the end of the day, it's not my job to protect the feelings in that type of way of my best friend. It is my job, because of my ring on my finger, to protect my feelings of my wife. So that would
I
instantly
know
just
that's
shut it
right.
down for me. That would shut it down. It's like, it wouldn't even be like a whole big thing. So I'd be like, cool, all right, like, I understand. So let's just say, though, the next part of that, I think intimacy, the level of intimacy, is super important to keep in mind when it comes to this. Let's say my wife was cool with me hanging out with Betty Sue and it's like, okay, you guys have been friends since kindergarten. I trust you, whatever. I would still be very cautious about making sure the level of intimacy that I have with Betty Sue doesn't become more than my wife. And when I mean by
Yeah.
intimacy, that doesn't even just mean like sex and stuff like that, because that can be a whole nother thing. But just
Right.
I'm texting Betty Sue more than I'm texting my wife at the end of the day. I'm checking on Betty Sue. Hey, how was your day? Before I'm texting my wife. I'm sharing things with Betty Sue that I'm struggling with or I'm working through instead of or before I'm sharing those things with my wife. Like that's the type of so like if I saw or if anybody saw like, hey man, like I know that you and Betty Sue have been cool since kindergarten, but like it seems like you're leaning on her more than you're leaning on your wife. You might want to check on that,
Mhm.
or I realized it myself, then that's where I would need to draw a hard line. And I think it just becomes ultimately selfish in my opinion when or
Yeah.
since we're just talking about dudes, I'll just say for dudes in that situation to get defensive, to start forgetting what the real issue is, because it's easy to hear that and be like, well, you don't trust me, like you did this before, you used to have guy friends and blah 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 blah. But that's not the issue. The issue is I'm with this person, especially if we're married. We're a team. We're one, right? That's what the ring's supposed to represent, like a
Right.
unity, like circle forever. We're together through sickness and death. So it doesn't matter like X, Y, and Z. What matters is me being there and being a team for my partner because we are supposed to be one. So I think ultimately, number one, like I said, if she feels uncomfortable, cool, we'll either figure out a compromise or we're just gonna have to shut it down, and that's the end of it. And if I felt that deeply about it, I should have married Betty Sue instead of the woman I married.
Exactly.
But if she is cool with it and I can be friends with Betty Sue, I just need to do a really good job of making sure that level of comfort slapping the girl's butt doesn't even come close. Like I should always
Yeah.
have
My
a higher
God.
level of intimacy with my wife than any girlfriend. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does, and I have another question. It's still it, like,
Yeah.
kind of connects. It's just a tangent. I think I feel so passionate about this topic,
Okay.
and I know, like, the episode's getting long, but, like, I still, I just
No, it's
need
all
to
good.
know these things. I feel like we need to do an
It's
episode that's where it's, like, you just giving me your male wisdom. Um,
Ooh, okay. I
yeah.
like that idea.
I feel like we have to do that because I feel like I've got so many questions for like a male relationship wise,
Yeah.
opinion wise, and it's not like
Okay.
you ask the guy that you're dating those questions
Sure.
because they could give you a different type of answer just to please you. So anyway, I want your honest opinion
Okay. Got
because
it.
it all, the girl best friend, being friends with a girl and crossing boundaries physically, whatever. What about men and social media? Because the amount of
I hear you.
times that I've been with a guy and you know what? Because it can really go both ways because a lot of people are like,
Okay.
"You're just insecure, whatever."
Mhm.
What happens when the guy that you're seeing, he's following a bunch of like girls on social media and you're seeing that
Yeah.
he's liking pictures of them with like bikinis on and like
Mhm.
like the more raunchy posts, like, the crop tops, trying to look all sexy and whatever, laying
Yep.
down. Like, what are your opinions? Because I feel like when I see those things, the thing that I wrote
Mhm.
down was, if a guy likes a picture like that, you're basically telling that girl you like what you see.
Yes, and to get more technical on that, what's even more dangerous is that you're telling the algorithm on those platforms that you like that type of stuff. So you're just going to constantly be fed more bikini pics, more hot girls like that. So you could just defend like, no, it's just that one girl, or maybe I used to know her in high school, whatever. So I like the pic, but you're going to be flooded with more, and then you're going to, as a
Mhm.
guy, speaking as a guy, you're gonna be inundated with more of that stuff. And come on, like if there's men listening to this, come on, bros. Like we know really why we like that bikini pic is because we saw it and some blood started rushing to a certain part of our body and we got
Okay.
that adrenaline rush a little bit. So we had to hit the double tap. So I would just say, well, the first part is kind of what I already said. Same thing. If my girl came to me and was like, hey, I don't really like that you follow these certain people. Maybe you followed them before we were together and you just hadn't thought about unfollowing them. So again, it's not about accusing you of anything, but this is just how I feel. It makes me uncomfortable, or I noticed that you liked this girl's post and she was looking a certain way. That makes me uncomfortable. If she says that, then cool. Instantly pulling out my Instagram, unfollowing everybody who I need to unfollow, making sure not to like those posts in the future. I'll stick to my basketball highlights and all that sort of good stuff. But at the end of the day, though, if she doesn't have an issue and you're not doing all that stuff, then yeah, I would just say as a guy, we know why we like those things. It's pretty. We're not as subtle or as complex as we try to be sometimes. We know. So I would be very cautious about, number one, a guy doing that, because again, same thing with the intimacy thing. I don't know if the word lust is the right word, but I'll just say the lust after a woman, if you're with somebody, should be your partner, should be your wife. So like, you shouldn't be scrolling lusting after girls all day. Like if you see a cute girl, like, whatever, so that's, you're gonna have the thought like, oh, that girl's cute and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying be a robot, but I'm just saying, like, don't sit and be inundated with all these lustful pictures of women, like, oh, she's hot, I wish I had her, and you just get all these thoughts. Like, that should be for the woman you're with. So like, go stare at the woman you're with, go look at her pictures, go go in the room and try to see if she wants a little afternoon quickie or something like that. Like,
Oh my
ideally,
gosh.
right? Like that's, you should be like all after her. So I don't want to be, again, not to be unrealistic, because there's some people like, oh, you should only like have eyes for your woman, as far as like, oh, all other women are unattractive, only my
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife is the only like, that's just unrealistic, and that's
Yeah,
not
but
going to
you're
help
also
anybody.
taking action. That's like a little action on social media versus like these large actions than that
Yeah.
this guy, you know, does. But
So yeah, I
I don't
think that's
know.
ultimately,
What happens if she's the friend?
it
Like this
boils down to
girl.
the
Oh,
guy's character. Oh,
the
right.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking like if she's a
That's a
friend
good.
and she's posting the bikini pics and they're like, "Oh, well she's my friend. It doesn't matter. It's just my friend." But like I just like I don't know. I'm like thinking about this for myself. I'm thinking like RIP in my head because I'm experiencing this. But I
Oh,
I appreciate like the true honesty because this was something that
yes.
was just on my mind because I feel like I've heard it from so many guys. So many guys. And like who knows, maybe I am a little bit insecure, but I also know my
Okay.
worth and like my guy's going to be very obsessed with
Yes.
me. So,
Yes.
if I see you openly liking like, if it happened before we were together, I don't give a shit, but
Right.
if it's
Exactly.
happening while we're together and I'm seeing that you're actively doing this stuff recently, I don't know. Alright,
Nope.
RIP to me, right?
R.I.P.
It's a
No,
no-go? Are you telling me it's a no-go?
Yes, it's a no-go. R.I.P. to that guy, because I think ultimately this whole conversation boils down to the guy's character. Is he
Mhm.
going to be so true and genuine to you enough to where you can go to him and present these problems, but not even problems, like maybe he's not even realizing these things, but just present these things you're feeling, uncomfortable, insecure or not, and for him to take immediate action and be like, "Cool. All right. You're my girl. I'm here for you. I'm pursuing you. So if this is making you feel a certain type of way, then it's not even that big of a deal for me to cut whatever it is out or figure out a compromise about it, because you're who I'm ultimately pursuing. So I'm not going to gaslight. I'm not going to bring up, well, 3 years ago you did this. I'm not going to, like, we'll talk through it, because at the end of the day, if you're my girl, what just not, all that other stuff doesn't matter. So that's just my
Okay.
opinion. That's just my
Shit, I
opinion.
needed to fucking hear that. Thank you.
Okay.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. All right. Do you want to hear one more? This one's pretty, I don't know. I think, well, we'll see. This one's not very long, so we'll keep this short. We'll wrap it up. I'll get to
Okay.
gymnastics on time. But this one
Yeah.
says, oh, I do have the title for this one. Am I the asshole for breaking up over not wanting kids? So this one, like I said, it's pretty
Mhm.
straightforward. You can kind of already put this together, but I'll just read it. I, 26 male, have been with my 27 female girlfriend for 2 years now. In the past, we have talked about marriage and having kids, and I always thought I wanted kids. but in the past couple of months, I realized I don't want kids anymore. I brought it up to her last night, and we had a long conversation about what we could do to compromise because she really wants kids. I just don't see how we can find middle ground here. Unfortunately, I'm talking to her tonight, which is Halloween and the World Series. But
Oh,
for her sake and mine, I gotta rip the Band-Aid off. So this is recent. So I gotta
yeah.
rip the Band-Aid off a couple days ago. Um, well, I guess I could read this. Update. Thank you everyone for your feedback. The damage has been done and it was ugly, but it had to be done. So
Oh.
thoughts on male, what do you say? He's 27?
Mhm.
Or yeah, 26.
I think I think it's just like an unfortunate circumstance, but it's something so true and real to be with somebody for 2
Yeah.
years and then be like, I just don't feel the same anymore. Like we just don't align. And I honestly, when it comes to children and family, I'm not really sure how you could compromise for that. I don't really know if there's a way to
Yeah.
compromise. You either have a kid or you don't. You can't
Hmm.
be a part-time parent, which is like something that we've talked about before. So if he's not fully in it, they're also still young. I mean, it's not like they're 35, not that being 35 is old. I'm just putting that in the
Yeah, I was gonna like, ouch, ouch.
no,
I'm a grandpa over here, apparently.
no, not that it's old, but I'm just saying like
Yeah.
you usually have kids at that age. So they still have time. Like he could be with somebody that doesn't want children. Um, and maybe she's with somebody who does want children, but I mean, it's a really tough situation. It's a true thing. I don't think he's an asshole for it. I really don't.
Oh yeah. No.
Especially because it was something that just came to be. Maybe he just doesn't feel like he wants kids with her,
Hmm.
honestly. It could be
Oh,
something like
true.
that. So, I don't know. I feel like bad for them because I
Hmm.
mean, you don't know, obviously, you're taking everything as face value, like you said, but
Right.
being together for 2 years and then all of a sudden having to call it quits, because it's just morals and futures aren't really
Hmm.
aligning, and that's a tough thing to do, especially when you love someone a lot, but, sometimes you have to make those tough decisions to move on with your life and thrive, I guess.
Yeah, I 100% agree. This one's pretty like this is a heavy one and it's a real one, but it's pretty straightforward because nobody's the asshole because nobody did anything wrong. Like you just have two different preferences. And when I was
Right.
talking earlier about compromises, this isn't like the I'm uncomfortable with how much alcohol you're drinking after work type of compromise to where like, okay, well, I'll just have 2 beers after work instead of 3 glasses of whiskey. This is like you said, it's either having kids or not having kids. There's not a
Right.
middle ground. It's not really a compromise there that's going to be straight down the middle. What ultimately is going to happen is, well, would have happened if the person didn't do what needed to be done was one of the person would have compromised, which really meant giving in to what the other person wanted, and then odds are years down the road there would have been like resentment and bitterness
Right.
because well, back in the day I wanted kids and now it's too late and blah blah blah, and you made me not have kids, or the other way, like, oh, I never wanted kids and this is hard and I this is not what I want. So I think ultimately it's hard now for them because again this was like recent, like the other day, but I
Right.
think give it a few months, but especially give it a couple of years. I think they'll both be thankful that they ripped the band-aid off
Yeah,
because if
I
they
think so.
truly want to go in different directions, then like you said, they're young. They'll have plenty of time to get with the person who's going to step into both of their boundaries and their desires. It's a tough situation, but you're not wrong for having a preferences or having a vision for your life. You just got to be okay with realizing that not everybody's going to share that. And so you might just have to be a little patient waiting for the person who does share that. But that doesn't make you wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. I like feel bad for him, but you're
Yeah,
right. And they'll be thinking
yeah.
it
Yes,
themselves like, in the
yes.
future when they're living the life that they want to, even if it's not together. That's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. She'll find somebody and he'll go find a nice woman with big old
Some
boulder
tickle bitties.
boobs and good lip injections. Maybe he's into
Oh
that.
God.
So
He might be.
he might be.
The
He might
the
be it.
tickle bitties.
Yeah. Well, you kind of convinced me to maybe start checking out Selling Sunset because I have no
You
reality shows to
should.
watch out right now. All my reality shows are over. I just finished Love is
You have to
Blind.
start from season 1 though.
Oh,
We're on season
okay.
9. Well, I guess you don't
Whoa.
really have to, but I feel like
Okay.
you should to get the background of some people. I guess you don't really have to. Like, I would say if you needed to start back, like, maybe do
Yeah.
season 7. 7, 8, and then you'll do
Okay.
9. I think that would be pretty
Okay.
good, honestly.
All right, all
I
right.
think
Well, I have some homework now. I'll definitely check that out. But you all
Yeah.
listening, thank you for checking us out and hanging out with us. If you have any thoughts, opinions, disagreements with any of the breakdowns that we did as
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about each of those stories, let us know. The email singleparentspodcast@gmail.com, our socials, all the things. Just hit us
Yay!
up and maybe we'll talk about on a future episode or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yay! And thank you for 1K on TikTok. Super
Woo!
happy about that.
Yeah, that's
Yay!
right. Big deal. Big deal. So we're just
Yeah.
going to keep rocking and rolling as long as you guys keep hanging out with us.
Woohoo! We love it.